Hey, homegirl, welcome to the Girl Just Heal podcast, where together we learn how to navigate our healing journeys in a way that challenges us to destroy limits and break down walls that have been keeping us subject to our trauma. I am your host, your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden. And just like you, I am on this healing journey, navigating the ups and downs of this thing called life while simultaneously allowing God to usher me right into the place where He wants me to be. So get comfy, grab your journal, and let's talk about all the ways we can heal, grow, and evolve together. Hey, homegirls, welcome to another episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden, and Chad, listen. Oh my goodness. So how are y'all doing? I pray that y'all are doing well. Baby, I pray y'all are healing well, feeling well, all of the things. Like, it has been a very long time since I sat behind this microphone and behind this camera and recorded. So we just gonna go ahead and get into it. Y'all already know all of the things, and I know we usually go over the updates. We shout out a homegirl. We do the prayer cards, okay? But I just really want to delve into this episode today because we have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to fill y'all in on, but y'all know I'm not neglecting y'all with the prayer card jingle. It's time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight. Prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight. So I'm going to just hit y'all with that, okay? So y'all hold tight until the next episode and we'll get in the prayer cards. But we're about to just go ahead and get into this episode. So I have been MIA for about 2 months. And if you've been following the podcast for a while, then you know even though I haven't recorded a new episode, I've still been putting up the old episodes. So I've been doing rewind episodes just to keep you all engaged and let you all know that I am still here. Okay, I'm still here. I'm still present. I have been navigating some things, and the things I've been navigating, like we're going to get into all of that with what I've been navigating and all of that, how life has been for me. So I just want to tell y'all, sit back, get comfy. We got a lot to talk about. And without further ado, like, I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. So it's kind of like so much has been going on that it's kind of hard for me to pick a starting point. Like, I don't even know exactly where I want to start at. I don't even know how to start. Okay, so all right, so let's just start here. All right, so if you all have been a part of Girl Just Heal for a little while, then you know my story, really, like with all of the grieving and the things that I have been going through. Last year was when my story kind of took a turn that I didn't expect it to take. And so last June 2024, if you've been here for a while, you already know about my baby boy Noah, who was born sleeping when I was 4 months pregnant. So lost Noah. And for that past year, it had been about a year that I had been just grieving and navigating life and trying to see, okay, what does life look like for me after losing Noah? What does life look like for me now that I am navigating such a great loss? And so I dealt with that. I've dealt with all of the things, healed some, still grieving. You know, it's like not one of those things that just went away. But by the grace of God, I was able to grieve the loss of Noah and really compartmentalize losing Noah and, you know, just what that meant to me and how that affected me, how that changed my life, who I became after losing him. And so in the process of losing Noah, I had many conversations with God, and I'm like, you know what, God, I don't understand why this had to happen to me. And, you know, I felt like I felt defeated. Defeated is a great term to use. I felt really defeated. I was a little disappointed because, of course, I want children. Okay. Y'all know my story. Like, it hadn't been easy for me to conceive. And then I finally conceived, and God decided that He wanted my baby boy, and he needed my baby boy a lot more than I did. And so I was just trying to navigate my way through that, and just having these talks with God and letting God know, like, God, I still desire children. Like, that's still where my heart is at. I don't want to idolize this. I don't want to put my desire of having children before you. I don't want to do none of that. So I need for you to help me get into alignment with your word, with your purpose, with your will for my life. Like, God, I need you to help me just align and be in a space of, even though this is what I desire, God, still your will be done. I won't put this above you. And I felt like that's what I was doing before I got pregnant with Noah. And then I got pregnant with Noah, and I just felt like I was putting my desires above God, and I didn't want to live like that. So I'm like, God, okay, I don't want to be like this. Help me. And so throughout that grieving process of grieving Noah, God really helped me to get myself in check. Like, he checked me, and he helped me to stay in that space of being checked, and like, okay, making sure I'm not putting anything above him, nothing at all, not my time, not my spouse, not my family, not my friends, not Girl Just Heal, like nothing, making sure I'm putting nothing above God. And so it was a tough process grieving Noah. And I just had these prayers like, Lord, I still want children. Like, here I am. I'm your daughter. I still want children. And so March of this year, 2025, baby, let me tell y'all something. I found out I was pregnant, y'all. Listen. I found out I was pregnant March of this year, and I was like, oh my goodness. It was so unexpected. Even though I had been praying for it, it was very, very unexpected. And not only that, I found out, baby, that we was having twins. Child, listen, when I tell you, God will give you double for your trouble. Like, he will. God will. God will do all of the things. I'm a living witness of that. So find out that I'm having twins. Of course, I'm excited. Like, y'all can imagine my story of losing Noah. And then less than a year later, God blesses me with twins. And so that whole journey, of just finding out that I was pregnant, and then the ultrasounds and all of the things, carrying the twins and just all of that. Like, it was during that time when I first found out that I was pregnant with the twins, I prayed endlessly. I was like, I didn't want fear to overtake me, because if you have ever experienced a tough loss, such as pregnancy loss, then I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that it's just well, it is a little bit of fear. That's what it is. We're going to call it out. It's fear. And a lot of times, I don't know about other women, but for me, I was like, Lord, I don't want this pregnancy to turn out like the pregnancy with Noah. That was my prayer. And I was like, Lord, please do not let this pregnancy be a repeat of what happened last year. And I just kept on saying that and kept on saying that. And I'm like, Lord, like every day, day in, day out, I prayed over me. I prayed over the babies, prayed over my womb, prayed over my body, from my brain to my feet. Like, just, I prayed over everything you could imagine praying over, just praying for God to keep the twins safe, praying for God to keep me safe, praying for a healthy delivery, a full-term delivery, and just all of the things, just praying to God and trusting and believing that God was going to do that. Now, one of the things that I had to incorporate into my prayer was, God, your will be done. Okay, because I realized that I was praying about a lot of things. I was praying for God to do a lot of things within that pregnancy, but I checked myself one day because I wasn't praying for God's will to be done. And sometimes that's what we do. Like, we get so deep into praying to God to do things for us and praying to God to sustain us in an area that we forget to pray the prayer of, God, not my will, but your will be done. That is such a powerful prayer to pray, because you are letting God know, like, yes, God, I'm thankful thankful for what you have blessed me with. I'm thankful for the space that I am in right now. But ultimately, it's your will. Lord, if I'm not walking right, I need you to help me get back into alignment. I need you to order my steps. If I'm not talking right, I need you to shift my conversation. Lord, guard my tongue and make sure that I'm not saying things that are going to be detrimental to myself. If I'm not moving right, God, I need for you to put me back in position. Sometimes we don't pray that simple prayer. And what happens is when we don't pray that prayer, we get upset when God's will is done and his will is different than what we planned it to be. My goodness. Let me tell you something. This is very, very important. And I want you to take this nugget, write this down. It's very important because with what happened, and we're about to get into all of that, okay? But with what happened, if I hadn't prayed for God's will to be done, the damage would have been greater on my end with what happened. And so with that said, we're just going to go ahead and get into it. So pray to God every single day, protect the babies, all of that. And so after I prayed to God, protect the babies, protect me, full-term pregnancy, all of the things, God, your will be done. August of this year, God decided that he needed my baby boy. Okay. Remember, I was pregnant with twins. God decided that he needed my baby boy, which we named him Noel. He needed him more than we needed him. And so here I am. I was pregnant with twins. I go into labor 23 weeks. Okay. It's not, if you know anything about pregnancy, 23 weeks is early. That's very early. I didn't even hit viability week yet. And viability week is week 24. And for those of you who don't know that just means that when a woman hits the 24th week of pregnancy, the odds of a baby surviving outside of her womb, they increase. Like they increase a lot. And so here I am, 23 weeks. I didn't even hit viability week. Like I was so down bad about that because I had been praying. The first thing that I prayed about, when I found out I was pregnant with the twins, I had prayers about milestones. And so I'm like, okay, I have a couple of milestones that I want to reach. The very first milestone, the big milestone, was to make it past 17 weeks and 4 days pregnant, because that is the exact time that I lost Noah. And so I'm like, if I make it to 17 weeks and 5 days pregnant, I have crushed this milestone. I'm like, I can breathe. I feel easier, lighter. I feel like I can flow through this pregnancy. Everything is all good. Crushed that milestone. I was so excited. Then the next milestone, I'm like, okay, 20 weeks. Past 20 weeks, I'm excited. That next milestone was 24 weeks. But that milestone didn't happen. And so I'm sitting here, I'm in labor, I've given birth at 23 weeks, and all I can do is just sit here and think like, Lord, my goodness, here I am again, a year later, in what felt like the same position. But my goodness, let me just tell y'all about the God that we serve. Even in the midst of me losing Noel, God had blessed me at the same time with Noel. He blessed me with baby girl. We're going to call her baby girl. That's my baby girl, my baby. He blessed me with her at the same time. And so while I am grieving and sad about losing Noel, I look over and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I still got baby girl. So while I want to grieve and while I'm in pain and while I'm hurting, God said, I'm still going to give you joy in the time of sorrow. And when I tell you, these past 2 months have been the most, I don't even know how to explain how these past 2 months have been for me. They have been different. I've never, ever in my life been in this place. I've never in my life experienced loss in this way. This is my very first time experiencing loss in this way, where I didn't just experience loss, but at the same time I experienced loss, there still is happiness. There still is joy attached to it. And so now I'm like, oh, wait, now I got pain and I got sorrow. And now both of them can coexist at the same time. And then I don't know what to do because I'm grieving my baby boy. I didn't want to be here again this year, but here I am again this year, grieving my baby boy for the second year in a row. I've lost a child. That doesn't feel good. It didn't feel good when I lost my first child. And so losing another child, I'm like, okay, I'm right back here in this place. And it hurt even worse this year because I was trusting in God and believing in God and had faith in God that, okay, God, I know that you are going to protect these babies. Like I had so much faith in God that I was going to make it full term, give birth to these babies. They were going to be healthy. They were going to be strong. We were going to take these babies home. We had so many plans, all of the things. And I thought that my story was going to look like that, but my story didn't look like that. And so here I am, I'm grieving the loss of Noelle, but then I got baby girl. I got baby girl who now I have to be strong for because she's dependent on me. So tiny, I'm talking about, my goodness, you can just imagine a 23-week baby being born outside of the womb. Just imagine all of the things that are going on, all of the things that are transpiring. Just imagine how that looked. Like that was, I'm talking about the experience. I don't even have words. I don't have words about how that experience was or how that felt or what I was thinking in the moment. And honestly, like, I don't even know if I was thinking in the moment. Like, I don't know what was going on in the moment of all of that. It's just like, one day everything was good, and then the next day my life just became chaotic, and I was just like, I didn't know if I was coming or going. I didn't know what was going on. And so I've been in this space of trying to rediscover me. Not even rediscover me. Let me take that back. I'm not rediscovering me because who I am now and who I'm going to be in the future after losing Noelle, I'm not the same person. Like the parts of Neimoya that existed before losing Noelle, they don't exist anymore. Like that is the old Neimoya. Those parts of me, they don't exist. And so now I am on this journey of discovering who I am. Okay, who am I supposed to be? Like this is what I've been asking God. Who am I supposed to be? This pain that I'm now carrying, this weight that I'm carrying, these like, oh my goodness, I don't even have the terms to express or to explain how I feel, just like so heavy. And I've been feeling so hurt, and I've been like, but I have to still show up. And I've been doing all of the things, and I have been healing. Okay. So y'all don't get me because y'all be getting y'all home, girl. I have been healing. I've been healing in my own way. I've been healing on my own time. I've been doing all the things. A part of me healing is showing up at Girl Just Heal. Like, I'm not going to even lie. A part of me healing is showing up. Baby, I gave birth, and the day I gave birth was on a Wednesday. Okay. And here I am laying in the hospital bed, and I'm over there looking like I got to put up an episode because I didn't get to schedule that episode for the day. Listen, I only told y'all that just to let y'all know, like, a part of my healing is Girl Just Heal. Like, I heal with Girl Just Heal. It's something that I can't even explain. I don't know. All I know is God knew exactly what he was doing when he gave me Girl Just Heal. And I will say that until I'm blue in the face, because he did. He knew that I would need this community. He knew I would need this outlet. He knew that I would need you all. Like, I would need Girl Just Heal in the midst of my trials to be something that helps me heal, something that helps me maintain my sanity, because going through this too, and I think about it all the time, going through losing two children in the course of a year. Okay, losing two children. And it's just like, nobody's praying for this. Nobody out here asking God to give them certain storms. Like, nobody's out here expecting God to do certain things how he's doing certain things. And I know for me, I was not expecting God to take me down that road again. And it's so like I was saying a little earlier, it's so just, and let me just apologize if I keep going back and forth in and out of the story. It is so much that has been going on, so much that I have been holding in, baby. I'm trying to get it out, and I probably still won't get it all out in this one episode. But I'm trying my best to just get it out and to just be present in this moment and to just be here with y'all and to let y'all know what's been going on with y'all homegirl, because I have been dealing, like I've been dealing with life. Life came, life shook me up, and now I'm trying to, get my balance back. I'm trying to get my stability back. Like, okay, Lord, life shook me up and it moved me from one position. So where is the next position that I'm supposed to be in? Because apparently I was too comfortable, or I wasn't in the space that you wanted me to be in at that time. And so after losing Noel, now I'm shaking up. So now where am I supposed to be? I don't know yet. I'm still discovering that. I'm still trying to find that. And I'm still trying to balance all of that out, because like I said earlier, I lost Noelle, but I still got my baby girl. So now I have to be strong for her. Because when I tell y'all, baby, first of all, let me just say I'm a mother. Okay? I am a mother. Okay. Listen, y'all know my story. Y'all know it is so much joy in my heart. Baby, the joy that little girl has brought to me, I can't even begin to explain. All I know is God knew I needed her. And like when I think about the whole situation, being pregnant with twins, like when I think about all of this, I just think about how God knew from the beginning. He orchestrated everything from the beginning. So he knew that I would be here. He knew that I would lose Noelle, but he also knew that I would have baby girl to be that joy and that happiness and that peace and that serenity and that calmness to the storm. God knew that. And that's why even in the midst of what I'm going through, in the midst of my trials, like I can't help but to still give God glory, honor, and praise because of how he orchestrates things. God knew my heart needed my baby girl. God knew that. And so he knew, he like, okay, and this is just me thinking, like what God was up there doing when he was like, okay, I'm finna take her through this. I just feel like God was like, okay, she's about to go through this storm because I need her to grow. She has to grow in some areas. I still need her to get more character developed. I need to teach her a lot more things. So I'm about to allow her to go through this storm, but she doesn't know that in the midst of this storm, I have joy, peace, and happiness waiting on her. Wait a minute, because that is a word. In the midst of your storms, God still has joy and peace and sanity and happiness waiting. He got it waiting on you. And you ain't gonna always know that it's waiting. You have to travel through the storm to get there. My goodness, you have to keep on going through the hard times to experience that joy, to experience that pain. And because if you quit, just think, if you quit in the middle of the storm, baby, the joy and the happiness is right there as you are traveling through. It's not always about you making it to the end of the storm and then you getting all the joy and all the happiness and all the things that you need. No, baby, a lot of the happiness and the things like that, it is inside of the storm. Meaning that you have to travel through that. I know it's uncomfortable. Yep. I know it hurts. Yes. It tears you into pieces. It breaks you down. When I tell you this is the most broken I've ever been in my life, the most broken. Listen, when I tell you this is the most broken I've ever been in my life. But in the same token of that brokenness, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. All because God orchestrated this from the beginning of time. He knew I would be here. God knew what I would go through. He knew that I needed my baby girl. So he orchestrated that to play out how it has played out. And so now that I have baby girl, like I have to focus on being the best version of me because I got a little human now that depends on me. Like I'm her everything. Okay, she depends on me for everything. I owe her everything. I have to be the best version of myself for her. Okay, of course, I got to be the best version of myself for me, because if I'm not the best version of myself for me, then I cannot be anything to her. Like, I can't give her what she needs. And so I'm working every single day. Like, it has been a journey. When I tell y'all, this has been a journey, one that has been, it's been an interesting journey. It's been very interesting because I feel like I haven't had time to grieve 100%. Okay, losing Noel. And not only that, I still was grieving Noah. I was in a much better place with grieving Noah, but I still was grieving Noah when I got pregnant with the twins. And then losing Noel just like brought that up again, because I automatically start thinking about, God, I already lost Noah. Like, why would I lose Noel, as well? And so it's been like this very, very weird space that I have been in, because I'm like, okay, now I just got to make sure that I'm showing up plentiful. I got to make sure that I'm showing up for baby girl how I need to show up for baby girl, making sure that I'm the best version of myself, making sure, because I didn't know this was going to happen. I had no clue this was going to happen. But now that I'm here, it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do now that you're here? Now that you're in this spot, now that this is your story, because this is a part of me, this ain't going away. This ain't something that I can snap my fingers and it goes away. No, this has happened. This is permanent. This will always be with me. This is something that is going to eventually help me grow. I don't, understand everything now, why it had to happen, all of those things. I don't understand that. However, I know that ultimately this is something that I needed. And sometimes we don't always understand why God takes us through certain storms and why we need to learn certain lessons. And that is me. I don't understand why I needed to learn certain lessons. But all I know is that this is my life now. This is my story now. So it's like, okay, so now what you gonna do? What you gonna do with this? And I have been really like just deciding to pick up the pieces, all these broken pieces that I have. Like, I've never, my goodness, like, even just thinking about it and thinking about like just how I feel and how I've been feeling, and just how broken I've been feeling. Like, I've never in my life felt this way. And I don't know. I haven't 100%, I don't think I've 100% grasped, um, just what I am feeling, because I truly feel like, even though I've grieved a little bit, like I was able to grieve with Noel, like losing Noel and stuff. I was able to hold him, love on him, all of that. And I I was grieving some, but I feel like my grieving for losing Noel won't start until my baby girl is released from the NICU. And so I don't want that to happen though. And so I've been trying to, just pray, first and foremost, just pray, and just also find the time to grieve. And whereas last year with Noah, I had all the time in the world to grieve. Like, I didn't take a child home, and I was just at home, and all the things came with that. You being home, you going home empty handed, all of that. I had so much time to grieve. Now my days look different. Like, my days are filled with being in the NICU with my baby girl. My days are filled with, talking to her and loving on her and cuddling her and just things like that. And so I don't always have the time to grieve, because every time I see her, she lights up my entire life. Like, this little girl, baby, she got me wrapped around all 10 fingers and all 10 toes. I'm telling y'all, she has me wrapped, okay? And so all of my time is dedicated to her. But what I don't want to do is neglect the part of me that still grieves losing her twin brother. Like, I don't want to neglect that part of me, because I don't want it to come up later on and I neglect her because I gotta grieve. So it's like, I don't know. There's kind of like a complex situation, and I don't have the answer for it yet. I'm still like praying and asking God, okay, how do I balance this out? Like, how do I do this? Because I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to steal the time. It's almost like I have to steal time. I've been having to steal time for 2 months to date. For 2 months, I've been having to steal time because I'm trying to balance so much. And so now I feel like I gotta steal time to grieve, but I don't want to stay in a place of grieving too long that it makes me, so sad. And then I go into her hospital room and I'm bedside and I'm feeling sad because my mom has told me, other people have told me, like, babies, they, like, your kids, they feel that whatever emotions and stuff you are feeling, they feel that. And so I'm very intentional on not taking any negative emotions into her room. Like, no, baby, I need you to grow. I need you to be healthy. I don't need you to feel like no low energy. I don't need you to feel no negative energy, none of that. And so I try to make sure that I don't take any of that into her room. And so it's like, that's why I'm saying I have to steal time, because I'm always with her. And when I'm not with her, I'm trying to get some sleep. Because, baby, Chad, look, y'all homegirl, this sleeping schedule. But I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm trying to do all the things. And then, just trying to just make sure everything is in order. I'm trying to now see how it's going to look with me moving forward with Girl Just Heal. Like, how does that look? When I tell you, just juggling all of the things and really just asking God for guidance. And so I know that God is going to come through. I have been getting some guidance. So I've been trying to really just balance this out to the best of my ability. And honestly, the thing that I've been doing the most is just focusing on baby girl. Focusing on the happy parts of my life. And I know that could be dangerous to my mental health, to my emotional health, because I don't want to focus too much on just the happy parts that I neglect and push to the back. The sad parts, the grieving parts, the hurting parts. Like, I don't want to push that away. I want to deal with all of that. So now I'm just trying to have both of them coexist, the grief and the happiness, the pain and the joy. Like, I'm trying to have it both coexist at the same time. And that itself has been a journey, but it's a journey that I am traveling. I am doing it to the best of my ability. I really am. And one of the things I will say is I'm not forcing myself in any direction, meaning I'm not forcing myself to grieve. I'm not going to force myself to do any of that. Like, I want it to naturally come. I don't want to spend any of my days and I'm forcing myself to be sad, or I'm forcing myself to cry, I'm forcing myself to grieve. Noelle, like, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be that it's natural, so that when I'm grieving, Noelle, I'm grieving what I'm feeling in that moment. I don't want to have this artificial grieving process. Like, I do not want that, because that's not going to help me heal in the long run. If I'm making up, like, not even just making up, but if I'm just sitting there making myself, okay, right now at 3:30, I'm finna grieve Noelle. Like, no, I want it to naturally happen. If it comes up at 11 in the morning, if it comes up at 10 at night, then I want to be able to sit in that and process that, see how I am feeling, process all those feelings, all of those emotions, and then deal with that at that time. And so that's really my process. That's what's been going on. Like, y'all, I don't know. I feel like it's so much more that I can say, so much more that I can let you all in on. There probably have to be another episode, but all in all, I wanted to come here and give y'all an update, because y'all favorite homegirl been MIA, but baby, we back. Okay. We back. I took some much needed time off. I really needed that time to just regroup. And I know y'all understand. So baby, I ain't even worried about it, because I know y'all understand, but I really needed that time to gather myself and to just make sure that I was present in each moment and try to get some stability and some balance to my life, to my chaotic world. Like, when I tell y'all it had been chaotic for the past 2 months, like, just trying to get some stability back and build anew. It's almost like building something new, because I can't even say I'm trying to get the stability I had 2 months ago. Baby, that's gone. That is long gone. I am now building on new foundation. Like this is a new foundation that I am building, not only as y'all favorite homegirl, not only as a wife, not only as a sister, as a friend, like not only as those things, but baby, now as a mother. Okay, a mother. I'm somebody's mama, y'all. Like I every time I say that, I'm just filled with so much joy. I'm somebody's mama. And so now that's the foundation. That's the listen, that's a large piece of the foundation. And I'm building on that now because everything now has to make sense and it has to align so that baby girl is always like baby girl is always a priority anyway, okay? She's always going to be the priority. And so now everything else around me has to make sense and it cannot overshadow her. Like it cannot overshadow like child, if you a mama, you know what I'm trying to say. Like if you a mama, you already know what I'm feeling in this moment as it relates to baby girl. But that's it. That's really it. Like I said, I just wanted to come and give y'all an update. Let y'all know y'all homegirl is still standing. Like y'all already know the devil be trying to knock me down and he be trying to make me stay down. He be trying to hit me so hard that I don't never get back up. But y'all, baby, I'm a little stubborn, okay? I'm going to get back up again. I'm always going to get back up because God, for one, God is my strength. God is my strength. God is my fortress. God is just everything that I need before I even know I need it. Like he's just everything. And I trust in him. I have faith in him. I believe in him. And it is all well with my soul. Like I know that everything is going to be okay. And I have faith in that. And I believe in that. And that's why I'm able to just move forward and keep on going. And I'm like, I ain't sitting down. No, listen. Devil, you got to come harder than that if you want me to sit down and if you want me out the picture. Baby, you got to come harder than that. So that's all I have for this episode. I love y'all so much. It feels so good to be back. I'm going to tell y'all that. It feels so good to be back. What I want y'all to do, I want y'all to show me some love, okay? If you are listening now, you a trooper, baby. If you listen to this whole episode, I don't even know how long it is, but if you still here right now, baby, you a trooper and I love you so very much. Just know I love you so much. And what I want y'all to do, I want y'all to do this for me, okay? Wherever you are listening to this episode at, wherever you are watching, if you catching the visuals, I need for you to leave me a comment, okay? Leave me a comment. I need y'all to leave me some love. Like give me a word of encouragement. Leave me some motivation. I need y'all to come through for y'all favorite homegirl. I don't ask for much, baby. I don't be asking for nothing, but I need y'all to come through. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, there is no way to leave a comment, but you can leave a review. I do read all of the reviews. Well, I try to read all of them. I do see y'all reviews. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, I need for you to leave a review, leave a 5-star rating, but leave that review and make sure y'all leave me some encouraging words. I need it. I need to read it. I need to see it. I need to, have something to look back on as I'm still traveling this journey. Like I need for y'all to come through for y'all favorite homegirl, okay? I need this. This is going to be like, I just really need these pick-me-ups because it's still days that, I am down. It's still some days that I am under stress and I'm frustrated and I don't understand everything that's going on. And so I know just having these comments and having these reviews and just being able to go and view y'all great words and y'all kind words and y'all supportive words and y'all's encouraging words, like I know that that's going to be something that's going to be really beneficial to me. So I need y'all to do that for y'all favorite homegirl. That is it for this episode. I love y'all so much. I thank y'all for just still sticking around. Y'all have been so supportive for these past couple of months, baby. Y'all have still been showing up and I love y'all so much for that. Thank y'all so much for coming through and just for being here. Y'all make all the difference and I really appreciate y'all. That's really all I can say. I appreciate y'all. So y'all know how we're going to close out this episode. We're going to close it out with the Girl Just Heal mantra. But first we are going to take a deep breath in and out. That is just us releasing all of the cares for today, yesterday, last month, last week, anything that's come up to trigger us. We are releasing that off of us, and we are going to repeat the Girl Just Heal mantra together. So the Girl Just Heal mantra is, I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm your favorite homegirl, Neimoya Basden, and until we speak again, girl, just heal. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. Be sure to connect with us on social media at Girl Just Heal. And if you need an extra dose of support during your healing journey, join our private Facebook community where we can continue to heal, grow, and evolve together.